We are back.
Yep, that was a good week this week, isn't it?
Another great week. Another great week in the NFC North for some.
For 75%.
Yeah, 75%. Good call. I was hoping another upset would be pulled and we'd be 2-2, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll take the 75%.
When are we going to get 100%? It doesn't seem like it's possible.
I know. I'm not going to have it next week, that's for sure.
And the one time we had a chance, the Browns.
Yep. So
we got flaccoed.
Welcome, everybody. This is NFC North West Coast Edition. I'm Jackie. I'm here with JC, and
I'm happy.
This is. We are rolling. We are rolling.
Ooh, man, we would be first place no matter what team, except for the Vikings, would be almost first place in any other division.
Yeah, NFC North is showing up again.
You guys are 4-2, right?
Yeah, but we were 4-2 last year, so I'm not getting my hopes up that quite yet. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We're being cautious.
Yes, exactly. So let's just get into it. Week 7 recap. The entire NFC North played this week. Nobody on bye. Different story next week, but we'll get into that. So let's just start. I'm going to do Saints-Bears first. So the Bears played at home against the Saints, coming out on top 26-14. This is the fourth straight win for the Bears. This is our longest win streak since 2018. Sad. So sad.
Hey, you got to start. You have to start this trend somewhere, and the trend is moving forward.
Yeah, but I mean, very exciting, right? You start off 0-2, you immediately are like, same old. And then they responded. And they're finding ways to win. And this game specifically, the defense.
Yeah.
The defense was dominating. And I'm happy for Dennis Allen because, of course, going against his former team, got fired from New Orleans.
Yep.
So, this meant something for him. And it's probably not something they talk about throughout the week, but
you don't really talk about any staff going back to a team.
Yeah.
They always talk about the player. So,
yeah.
I get this. It's a revenge game.
Yeah, and a lot of the players said that he didn't bring it up, the week leading up to it. But they know. You got fired from this job. Of course you want a little sweet revenge. And boy.
4 turnovers.
Yeah. So
4 turnovers. Well deserved.
Yeah, at one point, I think it was the Bears had 4 scores and the Saints had 4 total yards.
Yeah.
It was quite the impressive show in the first half. And, this is the Bears' 4th straight game now with 3 or more turnovers, which is really exciting because obviously, Chicago knows what good defenses are.
Where was this when I had them on my fantasy team?
Yeah. Oh, well.
You guys are letting 40 points a game.
Yeah, I played them this week and that was lovely. But this particular win, though, felt like an old school Bears win because you had dominating defense and yet again the run game just carried us to victory.
Well, this is an interesting week, though, because it just wasn't one running back.
Yeah.
We finally had
our rookie Kyle Manungai, who I've been super excited to, I knew eventually we'd get him going, but man, he runs hard.
Oh, yeah, he looked good.
One of my favorite plays was just the entire offensive line pushing Manungai into I love those rugby scrums, where just everybody gets involved and it's just
see, that's the kind of push that I like. I'm okay with that. When you start doing the tush push, I'm like, when you push the offensive line, it's just pushing the running back and it's their offensive line or their defensive line against your offensive line. Now that I like to see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's the difference though?
The tush push, you line up right at the line of scrimmage and then you get a head start from the center. The center is always offsides. I'm not cool with that because the defense can't line up in that same formation. On top of that, certain players in the defense can push and everyone in the offense could push. So I'm not cool that one side gets an advantage and the other doesn't get an advantage.
That's football for you. There's so many advantages the offense gets over the defense.
But don't let don't let the offense jump. Like they show so many angles in every single tush push, and not even just the Lions. It's also the Eagles. It's the Lions too, and they're always offsides.
I don't know. Like I feel like it's one play and it shouldn't determine,
Well, when you have the Eagles running it 4 times in a row, it kind of oversaturates it.
Well, I agree, but also a good strategy is to just not let them get to the 1 yard line every single time.
No,
you're not going to do
they this last time they didn't. They got to the 5, then to the 4, to the 2, and then they got it. So I mean, I don't know. It just feels it cheapens the sport a bit. I'm like, I want to see.
You know what cheapens the sport a bit? When somebody graces their hand over the QB's helmet and gets called for a 15-yard personal foul
we
penalty.
don't have Aaron Rodgers anymore.
Okay? That's what cheapens. When you accidentally run into the quarterback in any way, shape, or form, 15-yard personal foul. There's so many other things I think that are much more pressing than the tush push. Because the tush push to me is such like a scenario driven play where, yes, like I get what you're saying, but at the same time,
you pretty much when you have a play that's 90% success rate, you pretty much guarantee that if you're at the goal line,
if it was a 90% success rate, why doesn't every team in the NFL run that play? The Eagles have just mastered it, but it's not. If you look at everybody across the league, everybody would be running the tush push.
But this wouldn't be the
90%.
first time that one player is the reason that a rule is changed, or one team, or one play. Like this has happened before. You can't give an unfair advantage. Yes, I get it. It's one team that's perfected it, but at the same time, if you did it perfectly and they perfected it, why am I seeing a player offsides every single time? Because they know they could get by those rules. There's loopholes. That loophole needs to get changed, in my opinion.
I guess I'm not understanding how a center gets offside.
Watch the alternative, the all 22 video on it. When they show you the top, instead of showing you the back angle, they literally show you the top. So you literally have multiple players on the offensive line over the line of scrimmage. So they get that head start before the defense ever gets to jump. Because if the defense jumps, that's offsides for them.
So it's crazy
it's
then
starts,
because then, see, and this is what I'm saying though, is like, okay, if that is such a huge deal, then I agree they should be calling it. But instead they're calling when somebody is just a smidge off of the line. Yeah. Like,
I agree. That shouldn't be called. I'm gonna send you the video, or I'll post this on this episode. They are blatantly like a foot away, and you're like, okay. And it's not one player; it's like multiple players, and they know that the defense can't react to that because they'll get called offsides, but they don't get called false starts.
Other teams have tried to mimic this, but nobody does this as well as obviously Philly. Oh. That's what they've been looking at to see if the guards are going early with this play.
Mm-hmm. That was Tyler Steen.
That's a big emphasis.
Anyways, sorry about this long tangent on the tush push.
That's true. Just
a little passionate.
This is what we do. We have a thought, and then it leads into another thought, and then we talk about that thought for 10 minutes, and then that causes us another thought, and then we have to talk about that thought.
And that's how we get an hour and a half episode.
Exactly. So reeling it in. All right. But yeah, super happy for Dennis Allen to, have the defense perform the way he did against, his former employer.
Yeah.
Super excited. I hope that the defense continues this momentum. You could really feel the difference when TJ Edwards and now Kyler Gordon being back. If we can get Jalen Johnson, that would just be another huge boost to our defense. And I mean, Montez Sweat is starting to gain a little traction as well. So, like, if we had consistent pass rush, oh, baby. This defense becomes very scary. Very, very scary.
Yeah. I'm not
Maybe
happy.
we should be looking Rand polls. Check the market, man. There's not anybody right now, I don't think.
Check if the Cowboys are giving anybody away.
But anyway, a couple things I just want to highlight in this game besides the defense. DeAndre Swift in the run game, we were kind of getting into that, and then we digressed to the tush push. but 222 total rushing yards in this game.
With the cutback up the middle, bowling ball run to the 22. From the eye, Swift, cutback, hops into the end zone, touchdown Chicago.
You know, that's Bears football. That's Bears football. Solid run game, great defense. And again, if we can find that consistency on offense, because let's face it, Caleb Williams did not have a good game this, past weekend. And we're just going to need more from him. If we want to be competitive, especially in our division and in this league, Caleb Williams has got to bring his best ball day in and day out. And
I think right now your identity is run, and your defense will hold people under a certain score.
I mean, if you look at Detroit, that's sort of what their identity is.
Yeah, that's definitely
and I think that it was very important for Dan Campbell and that staff to establish a run game to take pressure off of Jared Goff. And when we get to the Lions, Bucks game, we'll talk about it, but that was basically the difference maker. And so I think that I'm very pleased with Ben Johnson bringing more attention to the run game and really cleaning that up during our bye week. I think that was like the main focal point in my opinion, but I wasn't there, so I don't know for a fact.
We'll have a conversation with him later,
I know. I never get the invites, damn it.
No. Send us a Zoom link. Come on, man.
Yeah. And then the other thing is, we're finding ways to win, and I'm very happy about that.
But what could be once they get it right? Penalties, though, keep these games so tight. But the Bears, they keep barely winning. So we'll keep believing that we're a playoff team.
But again, when you play more, again, everybody is a professional football player. So I hate to make excuses in this league, but there are just some teams that are either, have more talent or are better coached. And those are typically the contenders.
Yes.
And, of course, the Saints have a lot of talent. The Commanders have a ton of talent, so I'm not trying to take anything away from the Bears, but like if we still have this penalty problem against a team that does not suffer, 10 penalties for 92 yards in this game. Again, brutal. We got to clean those up. We can't have those stupid penalties. Granted, some of them are bad calls, but we just can't put ourselves in that kind of position.
Is your boy the one that you dislike? Is he still causing a lot of penalties?
No, actually, Darnell Wright did not. It was more Theo Benedict this game, surprisingly. So again, it's just like mental errors and some ticky-tacky calls, but did have a couple false starts. Can't have that.
Officiating this year does seem like it's worse than I've ever seen.
I know, more suspect.
Except for one team. There's only one team that never gets any calls, and we know the Patrick Mahomes. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. And then, Cole Kmet, Tyreek Stevenson both left the game with injuries, but from what reports are coming out, seems not too serious day to day, week to week, but we'll see how that manages, this weekend.
Loveland's been pretty quiet still, though.
Yes, I agree. And I don't know. Maybe we're just focusing on, maybe we're just focusing on other parts of the offense. Maybe, like you said, he still needs some time to develop. Fair. I know that the Bears are looking at, a lot of people outside of the Bears organization are probably like, look at what Tyler Warren is doing for the Colts, and that's great and all, but two very different types of tight ends.
I was going to say, if the other way to put it right now is both teams have the same record, basically, right?
Yeah.
They're both winning in their own ways. You might not have to utilize Loveland the same way that Warren is being utilized. Who's to say that if Loveland goes to the Colts, he has the same role?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying is like, okay, so you have Michael Pittman, you have Josh Downs, you have, of course, Jonathan Taylor, who's your number one option. But like, it makes more sense in why Tyler Warren is getting a lot of looks in that offense.
Yes.
Not saying those other two wide receivers aren't talented.
But you're not comparing them to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like DJ Moore, Romo Dunes, I'm sorry, but I just think they're supremely more talented. And Cole Kmet is very similar to a Tyler Warren type tight end, you know? Yeah. They just don't use him in the same way. But built-wise and talent-wise, I mean, Cole to me has always been supremely underrated. Yeah. He's got great hands. He's great blocking ability. He can run routes. I'm sure if he lined him up in the backfield, he can take a couple snaps back there. You know, I still think, obviously...
I would hate to be the defensive player.
Yeah. But I think, like, you know, of course, Tyler Warren is very talented, and he's going to be very, you know, huge for the Colts going forward. But
it's early. Yeah. It's way too early. And I here's the thing. Right now, you guys are building your identity. You guys are trying to figure out, in my opinion at least, you're trying to figure out how are we going to balance the run, the passing. And I think this is the first year that I could confidently say that if you guys ever get behind, Caleb could at least get you to a position where you're competing.
Yeah.
There's years where I couldn't say that. If you were 10 points behind, I just didn't think the Bears had a chance.
Yeah, I agree. And what was kind of interesting about this game is, of course, it was 20-0 at one point, right? Like the defense was absolutely shutting down the Saints, but then they gave up a drive, you know, in the final minutes of the half, and it was like they just marched right down the field. Yeah. So of course, and then the Saints get the ball again in the second half and score again. So
it got competitive.
The way though that our team responded, that's the kind of things that you want to see, because it's the same way as how we're finding ways to win against the Raiders, against the Commanders, you know, now against the Saints. That's what you need. That's what you need from a growing team, and that really speaks to the new culture that Ben Johnson is implementing in the Bears. So super excited to see where we're going. We'll talk about, you know, next week, or I'm sorry, not next week. It's this Sunday games, because there's some tough matchups coming up. But we'll move on to the Vikings game next.
There's that 25% that didn't complete our gauntlet.
Yep. So Vikings playing at home in Minnesota versus the defending Super Bowl champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. And we talked about it last week. I thought this was going to be tough sledding for the Vikings. You know, the Eagles haven't been playing their best football. They kind of, I don't know what's going on with Saquon Barkley, but it just seems like it's
kind of following that same trend where the number one running back one year regresses a little bit that next year because there's so much wear and tear.
Excessive
of course.
You know, like,
but it kind of happened to Jonathan Taylor, and it takes a year for you to get bounced back.
Yeah.
Although Jonathan Taylor was a little banged up, and then he got really banged up.
Yeah, I was say he was dealing with a lot of injuries. I don't know, maybe Saquon's dealing with injuries and we're just not being, you know, made aware.
I will say they threw the ball more this game, and I know we're not talking about the Eagles most of the time because it's not in our division, but they threw the ball more, and they seemed like they could throw the ball on the Vikings. And
so the Vikings, they did not have their best game defending the pass per se. You know, Isaiah Rodgers, who has been playing really good football, he got burned too many times in this game. He gave up a big touchdown, I think, to Devontae Smith. He also involved in pretty much the deciding touchdown to A.J. Brown, you know, that ended up deciding the game. So definitely have to, you know, get more out of your defensive backs, especially when you're playing against, and you know.
And I mean, it's kind of unfair. I agree. I totally agree. But I feel like this whole year they've been relying on the defense. And the one time that they needed the offense to step up, the offense couldn't step up because you had so many opportunities to score points, and they just couldn't.
Yeah, I agree.
Scored once out of 6 times, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, I agree. So 6 times in the red zone, and 5 out of those 6 times they kicked field goals.
Yeah.
And this is, I think it was within the 20-yard line, so even closer. But yeah, that's not.
They're not going to win games like that.
Correct. And I mean,
It's the weird one. There's not much to say about the Vikings in this game because I didn't see anything that I was too impressed with. Jordan Addison maybe was the highlight of their whole team, but besides that, Justin Jefferson looked a little bit overwhelmed at times.
Yeah.
And the Eagles defense hasn't been the best defense. They're not bad either, but not enough where they should be frustrating him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you think that do you think that they came sloppy out of their bye week? Maybe that because they went on so many road trips. So.
Yeah, I know. They were overseas for so long. I mean, and that's the thing is coming out of your bye week, playing at home, it just to be this what's the word I'm like inefficient
That's a
in
perfect
the
word,
red
yeah.
zone. Kind of no excuses, and I do have to put I think quite a bit of fault on Carson Wentz because statistically, I mean, yes, he had two picks, right? When you look at his overall stats, 26 for 42, 313 yards, and I believe 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
I don't think he had any passing touchdowns.
No. I think the only one was it Jordan Mason, I think, who had a rushing touchdown?
Yeah, I don't have those exact stats. But, I mean, both of the picks were in your own Vikings territory.
Yeah.
So that's already like, and I mean, of course, you never want to throw picks, right? But you also don't want to set up teams to just immediately have short fields and score points off of your turnovers.
Especially the Super Bowl champs.
Exactly. And he just, I mean, like you said, inefficient in the red zone. And now I'm honestly, I mean, we'll see. Obviously, Carson Wentz is playing tonight against the Chargers, so that'll be interesting. But I'm starting to get concerned about JJ McCarthy now.
Yeah.
Because it's starting to feel a lot like a Joe Burrow type situation where can this guy stay healthy? What is the recovery time for this? I mean, how many times have we said it on this show? Your best ability is your availability.
Yeah.
And it
doesn't look good 2 years in a row. And it doesn't look good that when they need him the most.
Well, yeah, and his original timeline was 2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
It should be now. Like 7 weeks now.
Yeah.
So it's just I don't know. I'm getting very concerned. Like not like me personally. I could care less. But like for Vikings fans and for this organization to like, if I were in their shoes, I'm thinking like, dude. I mean, when are we gonna see this guy? And
I'm 100% with you. I feel like he is more. I've seen him more on the sidelines than I've seen him play games because he's played what, 1 game, 2 maybe.
Well, yeah, I was just to say this is the point I was going to make is like imagine being a Vikings fan and you see him play like have this amazing comeback win week 1 against the Bears and you're like, "Yup, we good." And then now you're going to be 8 weeks into the season.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way. You're now 1 year and 8 weeks into this kid's career and you've had such a like small sample size.
2 games.
Yeah.
2 games and 1 preseason game.
And this is not by choice, like this is not like, oh, he's sitting to develop behind Carson Wentz, by the way. But it's just
and
I don't know.
I'm with you 100%. I mean, we talked about those concerns coming into the season, and this is before this new injury. And now that he has this, I'm still questioning, like, is he the guy? And I get this is unfair. The kid hasn't got a chance to play. But that is the criticism. He hasn't played.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Vikings could only do so much. You're asking the defense to do so much to try to stay afloat. And if he's supposed to be the guy, you need to have him as soon as possible.
Yeah, and I mean, Jordan Mason is great and all, but they're still missing Aaron Jones.
Oh, yeah.
And that's tough sledding for them as well. So, we'll see what the timeline for Aaron Jones is, but that hasn't helped their situation either.
Yeah.
And I don't know. But yeah, the Vikings coming out of their bye week didn't look too prepared, and Carson Wentz has shown time and time again that
He's not it.
he's not the answer.
He
So
is not one of the second chance type of quarterbacks. He's not a Sam Darnold.
yeah.
I bet they miss Sam Darnold a lot.
Yeah. And he's absolutely killing it in
Oh,
Seattle,
yeah.
like crazy.
And he wasn't that expensive.
No.
I feel like maybe it should have been the way to go
Yeah.
and then develop, kind of like what they did with Jordan Love.
Yeah.
We criticized that a lot, but it might have been the best thing to do. It might have been, hey, we'll pay this quarterback, what was it, $20 million a year or something like that? $30 million maybe?
Yeah.
And then 2 years, 3 years, and then those last 2 years, then you bring in your rookie.
Yeah. I mean, Jordan Love was a very different situation, though.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
He's behind Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
like-
that's fair.
It's like, come on.
But Sam Darnold could have helped a lot more.
Yeah, no, but I get what you're saying. Alrighty, any other thoughts, though, on this particular Eagles-Vikings game? Because I really don't have much
Fuck
beyond.
the tush push.
Alrighty. With that being said, let's move on to the Packers game. So the Packers playing in Arizona against the Cardinals. Packers coming out on top 27 to. Did I ever say the score for the Eagles-Vikings game? I think I
No.
did. Eagles 28, Vikings 22. I feel like I do that to the Vikings a lot. My apologies. But all right.
I think it's the third time.
Okay, Packers, Cardinals. Packers winning 27 over the Cardinals, who scored 23 points in this game. And JC, take it away so I can criticize everything you're about to say.
So this was a story of two halves. The first half, Packers could not get done. The only thing that we were able to get done was get the longest field goal in Packers history by our backup kicker,
Yeah, I saw that.
which now we have a conundrum because we don't know which kicker to keep because that was a hell of a kick.
From the right hash, Lucas Haversick from 61, and the kick is good.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we can't get much done. It's a
Yeah.
defensive.
I think the Giants are looking for a kicker, so
Oh,
you can
God.
always send it their way.
I signed both kickers. Let's have both of them. Anyways, so yeah, we can't get much done. First quarter, nothing. We get field goals. We get 2 field goals in the first half. And the Cardinals look with Jacoby Brissett look like they can move the ball on us. And yes, Micah Parsons, both halves, was a monster. He was a menace towards Jacoby Brissett. 10 pressures, 3 sacks. Fantastic game.
That ended Brissett's streak at 14 straight completions. 3rd and goal. Brissett, Parsons again. Parsons takes down Brissett.
I feel like that kick jump-started our offense, though. That 61-yarder. Because in the second half, that's when we started actually contributing, and Jordan Love looked like a different quarterback. He looked like he wasn't being held back anymore, and he contributed a lot. He actually felt like he was carrying this team, even though the score, the stats wouldn't tell you that because it was Josh Jacobs who got all the touchdowns.
Hands it off to Jacobs, and he is in for a Packers touchdown, his second today. And then,
Which, again, Josh Jacobs hasn't been really productive this year, but he keeps on getting the goal line touches. But I do feel like the second half showed that this is the offense we could become. And then the defense finally woke up a lot more in the second half. So,
Yeah. It kind of felt similar to last week, in my opinion, of where there wasn't really a lot of like offensive movement in the first half. And then the second half, it was just like, you know, they kind of got their footing. I will say, I know Jacoby Brissett playing, you know, in place for injured Kyler Murray. I was very impressed with him.
Oh, yeah,
in this game.
I think better than Kyler at this point.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because they did look more efficient offensively,
Yeah.
But what I was going to kind of bring up from the Packers' perspective is it concerning from a defensive standpoint where Micah Parsons did have such a wonderful game, and I kind of have similar stats: 3 sacks, 4 tackles for loss, and 5 QB hurries. So I don't know if you were like summarizing all of that to be 10 pressures.
Yeah.
But that's what I have. And is it a bit concerning that a backup quarterback, now granted, he was a starter at one point in this league, but a lot of backup QBs were, that they were moving the ball pretty efficiently with Micah Parsons having, such an overall outstanding game?
I mean, at first I thought so, but then I looked deeper into it. The thing is that team is scrappy. They're kind of like the Bengals right now. They're very scrappy. And if you look at every game that they've gone against other teams, even great teams, they have lost by 3 points to every single one of those teams.
Yeah, they do find ways to lose.
Yeah. I honestly feel like if they get another quarterback, they may be what you guys became this year, or what the Lions became when they were really like losing, or when the Vikings became more efficient, because they only lose by 3 points every single year. So next year we could be talking about the Cardinals being a really good team.
Yeah, I to be honest, I didn't want to say it last week because I didn't want to upset you, but when I said 2-2, I was hoping that the Cardinals would pull this upset because it just felt like, well, I mean, to be fair, they had been so close in so many games.
Yeah.
And, it just felt like maybe they would break through, and
they almost did. They almost did.
And so
here's the thing. If we don't have Micah Parsons in this game, we don't win. Like that, let's just get that one really quick.
And the other thing is, like, I don't know what the Cardinals were doing, but they like hardly double teamed Micah Parsons.
Oh yeah.
It was like incredibly, I mean, I'm pretty sure he said it himself afterwards. Like, he was surprised in the fact that they did not double team and there was just a lot of opportunity in the backfield.
Yeah, that's a dumb decision.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I mean, I guess if you're, playing devil's advocate, you could say like, well, we were still moving the ball and we were still in a position to win. But then it's like he basically had the game sealing sack at the end. So maybe at that point, when you're trying to put the game away, double team him at that point, like it's just, but again, like I was very confused on that portion of the Cardinals game plan. And that's the kind of things that I'm saying is like, they find ways to lose, right? It's just like, I mean, but overall, what do you think about the little tarmac debacle before? Were they the Packers? Oh, you didn't hear about that?
No.
So apparently the Packers' flight was delayed by 5 hours.
Yeah, and they 24 hours before the game started, they were still in Wisconsin. Yeah. I did hear about that.
Yeah. And so I was like, I love when like media makes bigger stories out of something. Like, granted, yes, it's not ideal. You don't want to have your flight delayed for 5 hours.
But it's not like they're normal people just hanging out in the airport. They're being told, go back home, and then when it's ready, we'll call you back.
Yeah, and I mean, I actually think they stayed on the plane.
For 5 hours, I don't think so.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure some people were saying like they were playing cards and hanging out. I mean, maybe they were doing that in the airport. I don't know.
Maybe. But at the same time, that they're in their first class seats.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like we're squished like, sorry. Actually, maybe the rookies and maybe they're in the coach seats.
Yeah, but I just thought that was like kind of a funny storyline that was coming out. And, the
NFL media loves to overblow small stories.
Yeah. But I mean, I get it because it isn't. I mean, even Matt LaFleur, I'm pretty sure, said something along the lines of like nothing was going right from the beginning of this trip, and it felt like nothing was going right in the game in the beginning, and then of course, you guys turned it around. But
maybe I get that talking point, but that's not how the media brought it up. It's like the Packers are stuck 24 hours before the game starts or something like that. I'm like, okay, they're gonna get there. Yeah, they'll get another plane if they don't.
Yeah. So,
what did you think of the fourth down instead of going for a kick? Like they actually went for it.
This is it was like 4th and 4 or something like that.
4th and 2, and Jordan Love throws a 15-yarder to Tucker Kraft.
Other way around. Okay, yes, the Jordan Love. Yeah.
Well, we could start with that. The Cardinals had a 4th and 1 or something like that, and then they got stopped.
Yeah.
When they could have probably punted or.
I think so. Speaking of the 4th and 2, risky. Really risky. It's one of those plays, right? Where you go for it, you get it, you're the freaking hero, and everything looks all great and dandy, and you made the right call. But then if you if you don't make it, then everybody's like, why the f didn't you just take the points? It's basically the identity of Dan Campbell. So
I agree. I feel like the Browns game came back to haunt him, and he was replaying it because they asked him, because he was going to kick it. He sent his kicker out there, and then he called the timeout when we really needed that timeout if we were going to kick.
Yeah.
Or if we missed or whatever, if we were going to go for it. But he said that I was going to kick, and then I saw how upset my quarterback was.
Yeah.
And I knew that I had to go. Like, we had to go for it.
Yeah.
And I felt like that's the right attitude you should have if you're Jordan Love. You shouldn't be like, oh, let's just take the points. No, you should be like, I trust myself. I trust my players. Let's win this game.
Yeah.
And I feel like Matt LaFleur has been conservative this whole year. He was conservative this first half. He was conservative in the last quarter on not that 4th down. The 3rd down, we did a bubble screen on, what was it, 3rd and 5? So I'm like, okay, there's too much conservatism going on with Matt LaFleur. He needs to chill the fuck out. But I will give him his flowers in this situation. He trusted his quarterback. And that was a beautiful 15-yard throw.
Jordan Love and the Packers on 4th down. Love throws to the outside. It's caught for a first down by Kraft. So the gamble from Matt LaFleur pays off.
Next time, maybe let's just get 4 yards so we can get the first down. But it worked.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't know, dude. The amount of times that coaches are going for it on 4th down now is pretty wild to me. And I'll say it again, because even there's been some plays where, again, Ben Johnson's going for it, and I'm like, can we just take the points?
I feel like if you're in a win situation, you go for it. If you're let's win right now type of situation, and because that wasn't a gimme kick either.
Yeah. I hate, though, the analytics part of it. I hate when, I'm sitting there watching a game and the announcer goes, analytics says go for it. Analytics says kick it. And it's just and just what your story was just now, right? It's got to be a gut thing.
Yeah.
It's got to be knowing the momentum. It's got to be knowing what would happen if you don't make it, how the momentum shifts, and
your history.
Yeah, exactly. And knowing the matchups too, right? It's of course, you can have analytics tell you that, oh, you go for it right now, right? Run the ball in this, but you could be playing the best freaking defensive line at stopping the run, and it's just not
how's analytics working for the Dolphins? That's the whole team works on analytics, and it just can't get it to work.
Yeah.
So if you don't have the right gut, you don't have that right intuition, it's not going to work for you.
Yeah, for sure. But I also don't understand always going for it. That's something I can't get behind.
Yeah, like kneecaps over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go for it.
That's right. We always go for 2.
Applebee's 2 for $25. 1 app and 2 entrees. That's eating good in the neighborhood.
Speaking of kneecaps, let's move on.
Good segue.
To the Bucks versus the Kneecaps. So
disappointing. Such a disappointing game.
Yep. All right. So the Lions played. The Lions played at home in Detroit versus the Tampa Bay Bucks. Lions coming out on top, 24-9.
This is not a competitive game. Not even remotely.
So, let's really paint the picture, right? The Lions lost last week against the Chiefs in Kansas City, and
they got belt to ass, the way that Lions love to say.
This is what they do. They haven't lost 2 in a row in 51 straight games. So it's just
Yeah.
they bounce back from losses. And, the crazy thing is, though, you can't do that in the playoffs. Can't bounce back from a loss in the playoffs.
Yeah. So I'm okay with their one loss, one and done.
But regular season wise, they've, always responded well. And
I mean, they still get bounced, so it works for me. Okay, we get bounced too.
But Jahmyr Gibbs.
Oh my God, that dude looks like he's a world beater. He's probably a top 3 running back in the league.
Yeah, he is so explosive that, I mean, anytime this guy gets the ball, you gotta be on it. Because
if you're a defense, you gotta be scared of Gibbs.
Yeah, exactly. So overall, Jahmyr Gibbs, 17 carries, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then to cap that off, three measly catches for 82 yards. Running back, by the way.
Yeah.
This is not a receiver.
But he knows he won't have a lot of time to throw it.
Here is Gibbs out of the backfield. Good throw, good stop, good move. Gibbs out of bounds near the 40.
Glad I'm not a DB.
Right up the gut, there goes Gibbs. Foot race. Winfield can't get there. Touchdown Lions.
He did so good because normally it's a 1-2 punch with them. Monty didn't have a game. He didn't touch the ball that much because they went with the hot hand, and Gibbs was on it.
Yep, absolutely. So, I mean, to me, he absolutely was the difference maker. Again, Jared Goff's stats, like, they look good, right? Like, if you look at it, they look good. But in the first half, Detroit had 200 yards more than the Bucks, and we're only at 14-3. So,
here's the thing. I'm very unfair to Jared Goff, and that's not going to change. I'm still going to be unfair to Jared Goff. I feel like any quarterback could have that type of luxury if you have Gibbs, Monty, and you have that offensive line.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. He should be beating every team by 40 every fucking week.
Yeah, and I would have really liked to. I would have loved if the Bucks had any of their top receivers. I know Emeka Buka played, but
he was injured.
Yeah, you could tell watching him, he was hobbling out there. Like, he did not have the same step. He was
and
not.
Mike Evans shouldn't have played this game.
Yeah, and then of course Mike Evans goes out, probably done for the season with a broken collarbone at this point.
Might be that hit. It might be his
that's
career.
True. Chris Godwin, again, another. The poor Bucks receivers can't stay healthy, apparently.
Yeah.
But, I would have liked it just the way... And, you know what? They're also really missing Bucky Irving. Rashad White has done fine in the absence, but Bucky Irving is one of those other really explosive backs, and he can, catch and run.
I will say that the Lions are trying, in my opinion, they're trying to do a false equivalence. A lot of the fans, the discourse is happening. They're like, well, we're missing our secondary. We don't have any secondary. I get that. But it's not like the Bucks have a top 5 defense to make that a 1-to-1 conversation. Yeah, you could score. They can't.
It's third string defensive backs versus third string wide receivers.
Yeah.
Typically, in that sense, I mean...
They're still going against Hutch. They're still going against your defensive front.
Exactly.
You still have your offense in its entirety. So you could score. The Lions could score. The Bucks cannot score, and they don't have a top 5 defense. So it's not a 1-to-1 conversation.
Yeah, and to be fair, that call at the end where Cade Otton reached for it, and it looked like I don't know. They called that a first down on the field, and maybe they have some technology that we couldn't see, but I didn't see enough in the replay to overturn it. And that was just a devastating blow to the Bucks at that point. But regardless, the Lions come out with a win.
Yeah.
They're playmakers do what they do. And because even Amon-Ra had a solid outing again. He's just that security blanket for Jared Goff. But again, from the first half, right? Putting up 200 more yards than your opponent and only being up 14-3 due to, I think it was like an interception, a fumble.
One of their players went on bye 1 week early.
Yeah. Oh, a missed field goal. So,
I mean, Jameson Williams decided to go on his vacation a week early.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't catch a ball. He got targeted twice, but he didn't catch anything. And he failed my fantasy football team.
He's been really disappointing to me this season for sure. I don't know.
I feel like I have. Remember the speedy receiver that the Buffalo Bills had? Was it Gabe or Gabe Davis?
They did have Gabe Davis.
Yeah, I think it was. He would have one great game like every 10 weeks, and then he would disappear. I feel like that's what Jameson Williams is now. He has one good game.
The good news for the Lions is they don't need him apparently.
Well, the bad news for me, he hasn't even had one good game this whole year.
But I mean, if I learned anything from this game is that the Lions continue to bounce back from losses and they just continue to be explosive offensively. And
they're the juggernaut right now. They're probably the best team in the at least the NFC at the moment.
Yeah, and if Aiden Hutchinson and that D-line can continue to generate pressure and, force hurried throws, doesn't matter what offense you're going against. It doesn't matter if they have top receivers in the league. I don't know. I'm not that convinced yet. Like, I still think that they're the top right now, but it's a weird year. It's a weird year. Like, teams are beating teams that they shouldn't be beating, and teams are losing to teams that they shouldn't be losing to. Yeah.
So I don't know what to think of the Lions yet, because the one thing that I wanted them to do is beat the Chiefs and see how that would work out. And trust me, we're all tired of the Chiefs, so we kind of actually wanted to root for the Lions, and they couldn't do it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know the exact stats of this, but I'm pretty sure Jared Goff always plays better at home. I would really like to know, because anytime I see him on the road, he just doesn't look like he plays the same, in my opinion.
They have to rely on the run more at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, and not his run. His run is run in place.
The side of his helmet when it's all said and done.
Trust me, all the people in Cleveland right now that are watching this are thinking it's just our guy. Out with the old, in with the new, and.
All right, let's go over the NFC North standings as of today. So Packers still on top, 4-1-1. That tie should just be a loss.
It's okay. Because of that tie, we're first place in the whole NFL.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How embarrassing.
No. We're first place in the NFC, for sure. I think the Colts are first place in the NFL because they don't have a tie. And I think they only lost one, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. Pull it up. I think they've lost two, but maybe not. All right. Well, as I was saying, so Packers sit at top of the NFC North right now, 4-1-1. Lions second in the division, 5-2. Bears third in the division. We move up a spot, baby, 4-2. And then the Vikings sitting in last place in the division, 3-3.
The Packers are officially first place in the NFL.
Yeah. I thought the Colts had too.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Alrighty, so there's where our standings are as of today. Let's look at what's coming up this weekend and tonight. So
yeah, it's gonna be a good game.
Tonight we have the Vikings playing the Chargers in LA. So welcome, NFC North, to our neck of the woods. Happy to have you, but hope you don't win. But this is going to be a tough matchup for the Vikings for sure, especially, Carson Wentz getting the start again. So it'll be a Carson Wentz, Justin Herbert showdown, and Justin Herbert's been balling out. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens in tonight's game. Then this Sunday, the 26th, the Bears are playing in Baltimore. So they will be playing against the Ravens. pretty sure Lamar Jackson will finally be returning to the starting lineup.
Ooh, they need him.
So, yeah.
They're desperate.
Yeah.
Like, they're what the Chiefs were going against the Lions. They are desperate.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where on paper, the Ravens are 1-5, right? But the Ravens are not a 1-5 team, especially with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. So we got to hope that the defense for the Bears continues to ride this wave and come up with some turnovers. And again, Caleb Williams just got to play better.
I can see this because the Ravens defense does suck. Like, it's terrible. And Jair Alexander is going to be injured again. I'm just calling it.
I'm just here to tell you, Pack is back.
You heard it from a fan right here. Pack is back.
So I do expect this game to be a little bit higher scoring than normal.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, again, our offense has been a little iffy. And then we have a Sunday night primetime game. This is the big storyline of the week, right? So this Sunday night, Packers playing in Pittsburgh versus Steelers versus their former beloved quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
I'm going to be honest. I feel weird about this one because half of me really dislikes his personality, but the other half, the one that grew up watching him and appreciated all that he did for the Packers at that moment and in those times, this is sad. I feel really sad because it's like, if he wins, I'm pissed and I got to flip that stupid sign over. But regardless of that, if we win, we still got to beat Aaron Rodgers in this last year. If you, I'm conflicted. This is a really fucked up game.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I would have not wanted this game to happen.
Yeah, so I mean, I expect all of these games, and then the Lions are on bye this week, so no game for Detroit.
No kneecaps for them.
But all of these games are going to be very difficult for the NFC North, and I expect some super close games, and we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Should be
predictions.
I know what the score is going to be for the Packers. 27.
That's
the Packers are going to have 27 points.
Well, you don't. What are the Steelers going to have?
23. Have you seen that every time?
I'm saying, like, what do you think the NFC North record goes this week?
I think it's going to be 2 wins, 1 loss. No, I think it's going to be 2 losses, 1 win.
I'm with you. I think 1 and 2 this week for the NFC North.
You just got to hope we're both rooting for our team to be the 1 win.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's going to be.
That's what I'm leaning that way as well. I think
watch this be the one that everyone wins.
Yeah. Well, the thing is like when you play on the road, those are already instantly difficult games. And I mean, the Packers barely got their first road win this last week. So those are going to be difficult games regardless. Baltimore's not an easy place to play, and Pittsburgh is not an easy place to play. And, from the Vikings perspective, are the Vikings? I think the Vikings are playing at home. Can we double check that, actually?
At Chargers.
Oh, they are playing at Chargers. Okay, so everybody's on the road. So even more difficult. So.
Yeah. Well, the Vikings are going to have a home game. It's so fun. And it's the Chargers.
Maybe.
So it's going to be like 75% Vikings and like 25% Chargers fans. Spanos.
Yeah. Alrighty, everyone. Well, tune in for, the Vikings Chargers game tonight. And then, of course, this Sunday, tune in to Bears, Ravens, Packers, Steelers.
27-23.
We'll definitely have a ton of things to talk about next week. So super excited for that.
You've seen that every game that the Packers win, they win by 27, right? Like that's been their score. The games that they've won is 27 or whatever.
That's how many points. That's I see.
That's why I'm bringing up.
I got you.
And then the whole talking point right now.
I saw a meme the other day, and I'm not sure how accurate it is, but apparently the Bears are the only team in the NFL that have scored 21 plus points in every single game this season. I'd have to fact check that because it doesn't seem right, but I feel like
the Packers had against the Browns, so I could tell you right now that wasn't the 21.
Yeah.
So the Vikings, this recent one, no, they did score over. Here it is. Vikings.
Yeah, but I think even when they played against the Browns. No. Against
21. Nope, the Vikings lost to the Falcons 6-22.
Yeah,
so there you go.
That one. Yeah.
So the Lions are the last one to figure out if they lost to the Chiefs 17-30. So yeah, you are right. The Bears are the only team.
That's the one thing we have going for us Bears fans. Let's go.
You're 4-2. You have a lot going for you. You could be the Jets.
PTSD.
You could be the Jets with Justin Fields.
Wow.
Y'all see them and get your thoughts on the game?
I hate this team. I was born into this, and I'm not gonna ever. I'm always a Jets fan, but like, I hate this team.
We were 4-2 last year. I can't. No, I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna put it out in the universe. But okay.
Okay.
I'm not. No. I thought it in my brain, but I'm not gonna say it out loud.
Super Bowl.
I'll tell you guys next week.
Well,
no, it's about this game. That's what I was trying to get at. Oh my goodness gracious. Sorry, Matt.
Let's lead to that and move on to your fun fact.
Yep. I guess we're doing fun fact at the end of the episode.
This time.
Okay.
Only because I got a fun fact too.
All right. Cue it up. Alrighty. You guys know what that means. It is time for our fun fact of the day. And not going to lie, Jahmyr Gibbs was the inspiration for this week's fun fact.
That
All right.
Interesting.
So Jahmyr Gibbs with his 222. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's not. That was the Bears stat. With his 136 rushing yards and 82 yards receiving, brought him to, help me do the math here, 208 yards. No, 212. I don't do math. 8.
What was the numbers?
11. 218 yards, I think.
Okay.
136 and 82. 218 yards. Did I get that right? Okay, you guys get the point. Anyway, so I have a NFC North player who for each team that had over 200 total yards. Okay? So we're going to start with the Green Bay Packers. Ready? Aaron Jones versus the Dallas Cowboys week 10.
He also had
2022.
Yeah. He also had a bunch of touchdowns, right?
He had, I don't have the touchdowns. I just have the total yards.
He had 4 touchdowns that game.
Yeah. So 211 total yards, 138 rushing, and 73 receiving.
Damn.
For the Chicago Bears. So I brought the jersey. Matt Forte versus the Carolina Panthers in 2014. Total yards 241, 166 rushing, and 75 receiving.
I love it.
Minnesota Vikings.
Danger.
Adrian Peterson against the Chargers.
It's going to be a crazy number. It's just going to be a crazy number.
315 total yards, 296 rushing yards, and 19 receiving yards. I think we talked about.
We should have known that.
I think we talked about that game before. And then Detroit Lions. Pretty sure we talked about this game as well. Calvin Johnson versus the Cowboys 2013. 329 total yards.
Monsters. Just a monster.
And that's just receiving. So, but yep. There's a highlighted player for each NFC North team that has had a player go over 200 total yards. But 329 is absolutely insane.
Well,
that's like a whole game.
That's
like just one.
That's a quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a great game for a quarterback.
Yes,
and speaking about quarterbacks, I have a very short fun fact.
All right, short fun fact.
Short fun fact. It's about the Packers only because of 27. Right?
Okay, all right.
So the Packers, both their quarterbacks, who I'm reminded of, only have a Super Bowl each.
Yeah, I know where you're going with this.
Both our quarterbacks won their first Super Bowl at the age of 27.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Brett Favre, 27. Aaron Rodgers, 27. And this year, Jordan Love is turning 27, and we've been winning every game with 27 points. So it's only fitting that we have Micah Parsons, because I'm going to sound like a Cowboy fan. We're winning the Super Bowl. I'm joking. That is a discourse going on out there.
Yeah, that is actually pretty wild. That's very interesting for sure. So.
It's definitely a crazy coincidence.
Yeah.
So I would love the coincidence to continue, but we're way too early for
What
that.
if they lose with 27 points? Does that still count?
Do we make the Super Bowl?
No, I mean, like, does that still kind of go with the fandom? Like,
yeah, I mean,
or is it just they can only have 27 points when they win?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, can we win by 27? Above 27? Like, I don't care. I don't know. I feel like Matt LaFleur is doing numerology. He might have like smoked a little ayahuasca with Aaron Rodgers in his time there. So now he wants to get 27.
Maybe they're doing sacrifices like the 49ers to keep.
They're running out of players. They're going to run out. Matt Jones is next. Mac Jones
is already like gimpy. That man's been fighting through this knee injury, and like, I don't know, but
don't worry. We'll come back and then they'll sacrifice him too.
Again. Yeah. It's like an over and over again.
Yep.
Like, just be healthy enough so that you get injured again and count as our sacrifice.
Have you seen that meme where it's like an animated thing, but everyone's like kind of like bowing. It's like they're sacrificing things. That's literally the Niners. They're sacrificing all of their players to like the devil or the gods or the fantasy gods just to be able to have Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. I mean, they're winning. It's working. Like crazy.
Damn. I hope they lose.
Yep. Alrighty, guys. Well, that's going to wrap it up and do it for us. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next Thursday. Deuces.
I'm just here to tell you, Pack is back.